Hello everyone and welcome back to Trenton Talks, and this is probably going to be one of the shorter end Trenton Talks, so still thank you for watching anyways. And for this Trenton Talks, I wanted to do a trend that I've been inspired to do from other YouTubers I've seen on my timeline, which is talking about my favorite smaller YouTubers. Now, before we begin, let's give my definition of a small YouTuber. A small YouTuber is anyone who has 100 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers. So I am personally still considered a small YouTuber in my eyes. But, I still want to share some of these creators, because even the bigger number ones make fucking amazing content. So again, thank you so much for watching this, and without further ado, let's spread the love. Let's start off with the YouTube group Anime Girl Podcast. Now you might be thinking, what could this channel possibly be about? And you know what? That's a fair assumption. You would think that it would be basically just a normal podcast from what you see, but with like anime girl PNGs. No. What they do specifically is they take like select frames from anime episodes, like for example, Lucky Star, and match it over some of the fucking craziest recordings they've had in Discord calls, just talking about random shit. And honestly, it's such a fun time every single time you see it, because it's always the most like outlandish, like, oh yeah, they definitely were talking about this at 2 a.m. vibes. I don't know if you've ever been in a call that long, anyone who was watching, listening to this, but when you've been in a call for a while, you just don't fucking make sense anymore. And when you do make fucking sense, your filter's usually away. So yeah, and I would love, like, the 100 to 500 subscriber ones, most of them, I would love, like, all the ones in this list, I would love to collab with. And then once we get high up, I would also still love to collab with. But I don't ever think that that's going to happen. But who knows? Who knows? Next is Jeff in the Internet. Now, Jeff in the Internet is a person who I just started watching like last week. But I can honestly tell you that they might be some of my like favorite fucking like his Google review series is such a pleasure to watch. Where he just looks at, for example, my favorite one, small town Walmarts. When he just looks at the Google reviews from certain small towns, gives facts about those towns, and just talks about the customers' experiences. And it's very like Matt Rose-esque in the way like the humor and shit is. But it's still such a good fucking watch. Like such good background noise to do when you're video editing or to do when you're playing games, like for example Fortnite. Wow, crazy example, Trenton. But honestly, yeah, really good some background noise content. And lastly, in the 100 to 500 subscriber category, it's the Tube Man. Now, I will be honest with you, I am very hesitant to put the Tube Man on this list, and I'll tell you why in a second. But the Tube Man was a YouTube channel dedicated to just making TV channel documentaries. Like, for example, I believe he made a whole entire documentary about the stuff, like, defunct kids channels that no longer exist, like Discovery Kids, like Warner, like WB. Things I never grew up watching. And it's just cool to see that kind of shit, and just cool to see the different audience types that there were back then in like the 1980s, 90s, whenever the fuck, to now with the rise of streaming and things. And as someone who I feel like considers themselves a TV enthusiast, the Tube Man is definitely one of the ways to go. Now, they have stopped altogether kind of like uploading, like they consistently, and they've also, when they do upload, it's not about like really TV channels, histories, and deep dives that much. So I would love to see a return to form there, but you know what, they're their own person. And if you like the other content, you can see that you will see when you click at the in the description down below. Go ahead and subscribe, they are a fine creator. I have nothing against them. Next, we enter the 1K to 5K territory. Hey, It's BB is the first one. And she is a Just Dance dedicated YouTuber where she has her PNG while she talks about her opinions on Just Dance and do silly challenges on Just Dance coaches themselves. My favorite one is the one that she actually uploaded where she talks about songs that need to be back in the subscription streaming service Just Dance Plus, and for which most of that list I do agree with. You should really, really go watch it if you are a fan of Just Dance. Or even if you're not a fan of Just Dance. Because her editing is so fucking good in the Just Dance community. And I feel like we need to see that more. Next is the UK YouTube channel QLMB. Now, QLMB is a person dedicated to making documentary-esque type content for UK TV channels like the BBC. Now, my favorite video of theirs is the part is when the BBC was down for, I believe it was like 24 hours in 2001 or something like that. Like it was down overnight in 2001 because of a power cut in West Television Center, and that documentary breaks it down date by date, hour by hour, and what it was like on all the different BBC channels. It is such a good fucking watch. And the last one to the 1K to 5K territory is Frankie Chai. I am butchering that name. It is a Spanish name I cannot pronounce. But he is an English Just Dance YouTuber, and he has some of the best tier list and reaction-esque videos I've ever seen in the Just Dance community. His editing is so good that he has perfectly replicated the Just Dance menu and uses it in every single one of his videos. It is so good. The only thing that's like a complaint or a turn off for some people that I personally don't mind is he uses one like the default like TikTok AI voices. But hey, that's not really like a deterrent from you. It's not like the one who was like, I robbed a store today and shut down the cash register. And yeah. Next, last category. 10K. I only have one person in the 10K that I actively watch. Connor Higgins. Connor Higgins is another dedicated TV channel documentarist, I guess. And dude, his 2-part series on UPN, a defunct television channel made by former Viacom CBS, now Paramount, is so good. It is well worth like that 3-hour watch you're gonna do when you watch part 1 and 2, but it goes so in depth in the history, and it makes me felt like I lived it, even though I never did. But yeah, that's the YouTube channels I'm currently actively watching right now that are smaller. Please go ahead, go down in the description, check out the ads, and if any of them that I said really interest you, go ahead, go take a deep dive in the channel, go watch. Now, I don't feel like I need to say this, but I'm still going to say it anyways. Please don't leave hate comments or weird comments down on these channel descriptions, please. I want them to like me. And I also like their content, and I want to keep watching them without thinking of, oh, Dink Mima 74 says kill yourself. I really don't want that my community to be like that. Now, the last part of this challenge before I end off the video is giving my nominations. So, with this challenge, you're supposed to give off nominations to other YouTubers you want to see do this challenge. Now, the 3 people I want to see do this challenge is the Blue Jay 75, aka Jackson, Ratcliffe, and lastly, Kerber or Jordan. I really want to see them do this. And if you guys do this, and if you guys do this and tag me in the description, I'm also curious to see what your lists are. Or leave them down in the comments. I also want more YouTube channels to check out when I'm not doing anything. Let me know. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I will have a longer Trenton Talks out next week. See everyone later. Goodbye.